Hello, everyone. This is James Templeton with the Templeton Wellness Foundation, and I'm so excited today. We're here with Joe Tippins, and Joe Tippins has quite a story to share with you.
Of 2016, 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago. I was moving to Switzerland, and I went into a weekend doc-in-a-box urgent care center because I had a little bit of nasal congestion and I didn't want to get on the long flight. Mm-hmm. And the guy did a chest X-ray, and he even brought me back to look at it. It didn't look like anything to me, and he was kind of my first savior. He just wouldn't take no for an answer, and he bugged me all day Sunday and all day Monday before my Tuesday morning flight to Zurich. And finally, Monday afternoon, I went in for a CT, and I had a tumor in my left lobe of my lower left lung, the size of my fist. With no symptoms. I had no symptoms, zero. I had no idea. And so I picked up the phone and called Switzerland and canceled my trip and canceled my acceptance of that job, and started a journey with MD Anderson in Houston, Texas. And through a comedy of errors that weren't their fault, I got pneumonia along the way, and they had to change the regimen and double up the radiation. They fried my esophagus into bacon when nothing would go down or up. And instead of doing a feeding tube, I decided to live off of my fat stores and my muscle stores. And I went 8 weeks with no nutrients in my body, zero. And went in IV fluids to keep me hydrated along the way. And in December of 16, 3 months later, I had a scan, and they said, well, we have great news, Joe. The great big monster tumor in your lower left lung is gone. But the bad news was it had metastasized entirely from head to toe. I had tumors in my neck, in my stomach, my liver, my bladder, my pancreas, and in my bones from head to toe. Wow. And I don't know if your listeners know, but statistically, when you have small cell lung cancer that metastasize that far afield, you're a goner.
Yeah.
Basically, the life expectancy goes below 1%, and the median life expectancy is around 3 months. I got a call the next day from a large animal veterinarian, cattle and horse doctor in Western Oklahoma. I'm from Oklahoma. And I went to college with this guy, and I knew his children and everybody. And, excuse me, he basically told me this crazy story about a scientist at Merck Animal Health on the veterinary medicine side that had been implanting cancer in her mice brains and stomachs and livers, and was doing cancer research. And her entire mouse population, as the story was told to me, her entire mouse population came down with intestinal parasites. And so she gave what is given to all animals, whether it's fish all the way up to elephants in the animal. Is a drug called fenbendazole, which is in the anthelmintic class of drugs. Anthelmintic only means to kill intestinal parasites.
Yes.
And lo and behold, she saved her mouse population from dying of intestinal parasites. But when she came back several weeks later, she cured the mice of cancer. And as the story went, she herself got 4-stage glioblastoma wrapped around her brainstem, was told to go home and hire hospice. He decided what the heck, started taking this stuff, and cleared herself in like 12 weeks. So that's a short-winded answer to the very next day. I started taking fenbendazole, and I'm taking the veterinary product, the dog dewormer.
Is it like a pill, or?
No, it's a dry, tasteless powder that people use to mix into dog food to deworm their dogs. Through self-research, I did probably 2,000 or 3,000 hours of research myself. added a few other things to the regimen, which is now called the Joe Tippins Protocol, which is beyond bizarre to me.
Yeah.
But I added curcumin, bioavailable curcumin and CBD oil and vitamin E. And I'm now 30 months all clear, completely no evidence of disease now after being told no hope.
Yeah.
And now that I have 100 other success stories in all different cancer types and all different stages, I am even more convinced than ever. A PhD student at Arizona State University, Chinese, translated the blog into 2 different languages, and without even asking my permission, just did it, which I'm okay with. I don't care. I'm not trying to make money off this. He posted the blog in China. I didn't even know he did. And about 3 weeks ago, I got a call from the editor of Beijing News, which is owned by the Chinese government. And the guy spoke perfect English, almost with a British accent, it felt like, and told me that I was a rock star in China, and that the Chinese website had 3.5 million hits, and that this is just nuts, and that he estimated that there were between 30 and 50,000 people in China on the protocol. I do know of 25 cases where people were sent home to higher hospice, go home and die, basically, and they didn't take anything else but this protocol, and they were saved.